Alrighty, good morning everyone and welcome. My name is Sydney Shuttro and I'm a member of the Tennessee Fall Prevention Coalition. On behalf of the coalition members across the state, we want to welcome you to our fourth session in the Tennessee Fall Prevention Coalition's virtual program demonstration series for National Fall Prevention Awareness Week. We see a lot of familiar, don't want to say faces, but names who's joined us all week, so we appreciate your support. Governor Lee has also made a formal proclamation recognizing September 20th to the 24th as Fall Prevention Awareness Week in Tennessee. The series would not be made possible without our amazing coalition members who helped develop the data collection surveys that you all completed at registration, volunteered to speak during the series like June, and every day to strive to educate, promote, and provide programs and services across Tennessee to help reduce the occurrence of falls in older adults. So thank you all so much. For the audience, this session is being recorded and you have all been placed on mute, or I'm going to be placing you on mute soon. So just to reduce the background noise for our speaker. If you have your camera on, now is the time to consider turning it off if you don't want to be seen on the recording. If you have any questions or comments or stories that you want to share, we encourage you to do so using the chat box feature, and we'll address all the questions at the end of the presentation. We have a wonderful session for you today that will be discussing the Tai Chi program. There will be a part of the presentation where our speaker is going to ask you to join them in performing some of these exercises. So we encourage you all to participate, but we want to make sure that you do that safely. So be sure that you're wearing athletic shoes, preferably closed-toed athletic shoes. Have the area around you clear of any objects that may be a tripping or a fall hazard. Have some water handy to stay hydrated, and if you need to take a break, please feel free to do so at any time. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to June Puett so she can tell you a little bit about herself and lead us in this discussion today. So thank you so much, June, for being with us.
Well, thank you, everybody. It's great to be here. I am June Puett. I'm a family and consumer science extension agent with University of Tennessee Extension, and I'm here in Hamilton County in Chattanooga. And I am a member, a very active member of our local Fall Prevention Coalition. If you're not involved, if you don't have one in your area, consider getting one together. And if you have one and you're not involved, please consider thinking about that, because we do lots of wonderful projects. So we're going to talk Tai Chi today, and quite honestly, what got me interested in Tai Chi and other fall prevention programs is becoming a senior. And I would go to trainings and start reading all these facts. For instance, falls are the leading cause of both fatal and non-fatal injuries for people 65 and older. And I'm knocking on that 65 door. And I don't know about you guys, but I've had a couple of falls. You know, it's embarrassing. Lots of times it was doing things I shouldn't do, like not having, you know, lights turned on and clutter around and so forth. So what we've been doing this week is really focusing on the prevention. And Tai Chi is a wonderful way to help you get ready to fall, to prevent falls, and just it's great for your mental health as well as your physical health. So we have a poll question to ask you if you have ever participated in any type of Tai Chi program. So Sydney, you want to tell us what's in the chat box and pull that up? I'm sorry, the poll question, and pull that up for us, please.
Your poll is active on your screen. So the question is, have you ever tried Tai Chi? And your choices are yes or no. So if you want to type that in the chat box, you can do that. Or if you have access to the poll, please submit your answers now.
And FYI, yesterday I participated. Terry did a wonderful job, and my poll would not work. So feel free to type an answer into the chat box if you want to. You can just do yes or no. There are many, many, many different forms of Tai Chi out there. And the Center for Disease Control, the National Council on Aging, the Arthritis Foundation, all endorse the type of Tai Chi I'm going to demonstrate today, and it's part of the Tai Chi for Health program. Okay, do we have the poll results, Sydney?
We do. So of our respondents, we have 46% have said yes, they've tried Tai Chi, and 54% said no.
Okay, great. Well, we should have plenty of people doing this along with me then. This type of Tai Chi under the Tai Chi for Health program that was initiated by Dr. Paul Lamb, a physician in Australia, is evidence-based, meaning, of course, that if you practice this regularly, it's been known to help prevent falls, and is also the same type of Tai Chi program for arthritis to help alleviate arthritis need for pain medications. So you get a double whammy with this one. And by the way, I am trained in Matter of Balance and in Cell and in Tai Chi. And for you new people out there, I kind of recommend that people start out with the Matter of Balance if they have a fear of falling or if they've not been exercising much. And then they can maybe progress to this Tai Chi and then on to Cell. Those are the three programs we do in our area. But Tai Chi is for anybody, regardless of your physical fitness level. And we also, you can do this seated. When we are certified to teach this, and by the way, our certification is a quite involved process. We are have to watch videos before we even go to a training, a 2-day training to get certified and pass tests. And I brought one of the videos, and this is all under, if you Google Tai Chi for Health, and we're going to send you resources. And the National Council on Aging also has a snippet of some of the Tai Chi for Health, the fall prevention video, but this happens to be one that's Tai Chi for seated. So if you know somebody, that's wheelchair bound, we've had several people, come to our classes that can't stand. So so it's great, and they can move their lower body in the chair, if they're able to do that and to still participate. So I mentioned I am with the University of Tennessee Extension. I'm curious to know if you know who your extension agent is in the county or area where you live. Sydney, what does the poll question ask?
Yep, so the poll is launched. It says, do you know your county extension agent? And your answers are yes or no.
All right. So we do have one in every county in Tennessee, and about half of us are trained to teach this form of Tai Chi for fall prevention and arthritis. And some folks are even trained for Tai Chi for diabetes and for stress and rehab. And if you go on the Tai Chi for Health website, you'll find a plethora of videos that the majority of them are evidence-based. And they've worked with a team of physicians and researchers to make sure this happens. So, but okay, do we have the answer to the poll question?
We sure do. So 42% said that yes, they know who their extension agent is, and 58% said no.
Well, that's wonderful. I hope that 58% you guys start Googling your county office. We finally have some really nice websites now, and find out who that person is and what kind of programs they offer and how you can get involved. If your extension agent around in your county does not offer Tai Chi for Health, you may still investigate other forms of Tai Chi in fitness centers and community centers. I do recommend that you find somebody that's certified, not somebody that's watching some videos on how-tos to do it. But we have to maintain our certification every 2 years, and it's quite lengthy involved. But we do use the same DVD as part of the training before we go and train with the master trainers. And we're always looking for volunteers. We did Tai Chi virtually between January and April. We did 61 different classes. A lot of those were series of classes, and we reached over 300 people in those classes. And I recruited 2 new volunteers virtually who got trained to teach Tai Chi virtually, and they are helping us out in the community as we speak, doing Tai Chi classes. So we've got lots of opportunities for that. We normally, with Tai Chi for Health, we start out with a series of 8 sessions, usually 8 one-hour sessions, and sometimes we build onto that. But that's just a good basic introduction to get the moves down. And we're going to run through all those moves here in just a minute. So Tai Chi, like a lot of other exercises, has multiple benefits. It's going to help you build strength. Of course, it works on your balance because we're going to be moving back and forth, side to side, and actually you're got all your weight on one foot at times. So that helps you if you do get in a fall, you don't just automatically tumble. This Tai Chi really focuses on breathing, and that's going to help expand your lung capacity. So if you do have some kind of respiratory illness, flu, COVID, whatever, it's going to really help you pull through if you have better lung capacity for that. So it's going to help with pain, it's going to help with stress, it's going to help burn calories, it's going to boost your immune system. So we have no reason not to do Tai Chi. The type of Tai Chi we do is called the Sun style. It's spelled S-U-N, sun, pronounced soon. And it's actually done with a higher stance. You've probably seen people with the crouching positions. No, and the first thing people always ask me when I talk about the class is, do we have to get down on the ground? No, we don't want you to be on the ground for that. That means we're not doing our job right for that. But it's much slower, gentle movements. It's easy on the joints. We keep low shoulders because this is Tai Chi for arthritis. And we never extend our limbs straight out. We're always going to have a slight bend in our joints. So I hope you've got on comfortable shoes today. You've got some comfortable loose fitting clothes. You don't have rugs, extension cords, or pets around. Pets are always welcome to come to my Tai Chi virtual classes, by the way, but I do recommend they stay in a separate area from their owners for that. And we're going to move around. So if you're at home in your office, you may try to get where you can take 3 steps in one direction without running into anything. And it's really funny when we do our Tai Chi virtual classes and we have the people with their camera on, when you get 2 or more people in a household doing this together and all you see are their little heads going in the directions. It's really fun. So, and we don't want you to do more than your doctor or your body tells you to do. By the way, 24 minutes of Tai Chi is going to be equivalent of walking a mile. So this form of Tai Chi is equivalent to moderate walking. Okay, so I'm going to keep a chair next to me when we do our warm-ups, and you can do that too. Make sure if you don't have one on rollers, because we don't want you to go rolling by, but you might need this if you've not done some of the warm-ups, because the warm-ups are some of the standard things you've seen, but some are specific to Tai Chi. So I want you to find your comfortable Tai Chi stance. For me, I like my feet about shoulder length apart, and I have a natural stance where my toes are pointed out just a little bit. But wherever you feel more comfortable, if a big wind came to blow you away, what do you feel more steady? And we're always going to keep just a little bend in your knee. We don't want your knees to buckle because that wind would really blow me back. So just a slight bend in the knees is what we want to do. So we want to keep a nice erect posture, but not really stiff. And Dr. Lamb on his videos pulls out a string, and I try to mimic that in my class to let that mimic your spine, your body, your alignment. So it's aligned, but it's going to be flexible. It's not going to be really straight and stiff. So that's a good a pointer there. So we have a greeting in Tai Chi, and I want you to do the greeting with me. And what you're going to do is take a loose fist. We don't have really tight fist, just a couple of places. We will do that, releasing stress. But this is just a loose fist, your right fist. And I want you to take your 4 fingers and bend your thumb in. So the right fist is going to represent strength. Our 4 fingers are going to represent friendship, and the bent thumb is humility. So I want you to place your fingers over the fist, and that represents mutual respect. So that's our Tai Chi greeting. We try to do that every time we start a class and we end a class. So the next thing that we'd like to do to start warming up is do an open and close with our fingers. And sometimes we call that fist and fling in other exercise classes, and walk around a little bit. Now, if we had a lot of people around on good days, we use this opportunity to greet each other by a big old smile and saying hello. And it's just nice to see seniors get in conversation while they're doing this. And I have to tell a quick story about my 2 little mountain men that were in a class. I mean, they drove long ways from separate parts of the county to come to the class. And they had a little hearing issue. And one day we were doing this about the 3rd class in, and one of them said to the other, "Hey, this is the best thing I got out of this class for my arthritis." Just the warm-up part of opening and closing that hands. And I thought, if that's his takeaway, that's just wonderful. Okay, so now let's get into the warm-ups. And let's think about mindfulness. I want you to forget about all your surroundings, because we want to focus on the inner you, the inner strength that you have. Tai Chi is a form of martial arts, and it's really, really old. And the process is as much mental as physical. Okay, so first of all, let's think about breathing. And let's put a hand on our stomach and one on our chest. And I'm going to be quiet for just a minute. And I want you to take some deep breaths in and out, and in and out. And I want you to focus on which hand is moving more, the one on your chest or one on your stomach. Okay, just deep breaths in and out. In, out. In, out. Okay, which hand is moving more? It should be the one on your stomach, because we want to breathe from our stomach. We want to have big, deep breaths that really expand the diaphragm and the lungs. Again, that's building that lung capacity. So keep that in mind as we're breathing. To breathe deep if you can. You may have issues, you can't do that, but do the best that you can for that. Okay, we're going to do warm-ups, and we're going to do 2 for the neck, 2 for the shoulder, 2 for the spine, 2 hip, 2 knee, and 2 ankle. Okay, and the first one is a little unique, and what we're going to do is just slowly raise our hands and bring your palms towards your face, but don't touch that face. Pretend there's an invisible force field there, like you're in a pool of water and you're trying to push your hands through that water. Okay, before you reach your face with the hands, turn them down and slowly lower your chin as you lower your hands down to your thighs, okay? Take a deep breath in as you raise your hands and your chin at the same time. Come back up, and again, move your hands towards your face, and then push the hands away and then down. And I tell people, imagine there's an invisible force field there, and you're trying to touch that face, but we've learned in COVID we're not supposed to be touching our face, right? Or during flu season. So we're going to push it down, and last time we're going to lower our hands. And we normally do things in this form of Tai Chi 3 times, and that was 3 times we would do that. So for our next neck exercise, we're going to take a hand up in front of us, and we're going to keep our hips facing forward, but we're going to slowly move our head around to the side. Do not go past your shoulders. You may not even be able to do that. That's called 90% if you can go to your shoulder, but you can only do 60 or 70% if you have arthritis or bad shoulders. Again, do what you can, modify it yourself. If you have shoulder or neck issues, you may not be able to do these. So we're going to switch hands, go to the other side. We're going to bring your hands back to center. And this is actually Chi, by the way, has several definitions, but one of them is energy. And this form has our palms facing each other because it exchanges energy. And I can actually feel the little tingle from that energy exchange since I've been doing it for a while now. So we're going to slowly go to the other side following that hand. Bring the hand back around to center. What we're doing is we're just slowly, gently warming up the neck and come back down to center and cross. And one more time, let's go either side. By the way, it doesn't matter if you go to the left or the right on these exercises, especially if you're at home. Other than if you have multiple people in the room, you might want to coordinate which way you're going to go. So you don't have to go the same way I do, just opposite. Okay, shoulder rolls. We love those shoulder rolls. So we're going to do 3, but we're not going to bring our shoulders all the way up to our ears because, again, this is for arthritis. So 3 forward, gentle, and 3 backwards. And this is just one of my favorite exercises. By the way, I do my Tai Chi in the car sometimes. We have a railroad track really close to the office. Keep going on those. Those feel so good. And I'll practice either I'll sit there and read my email on my phone and do my Tai Chi exercises. So do these when you're in the line at Walmart too. Okay, so now our second shoulder exercise, we're going to scoop up good energy or good chi, and we're going to bring it in and put it in our body by just bringing our hands to the front and exhale, okay? Scoop up good energy. Don't forget to keep the knees bent and bring it in our body. And then last time, scoop up good energy and bring it in our body. Okay, let's work on that spine. Now I have a little prop here. I tell people for this one, imagine you're holding a ball of some kind. And I want you to take that ball and we're going to bring that bottom hand up. And we're going to hold up the sky with that hand. If you cannot flatten your hand out because of shoulder issues, that's fine. And don't stretch all the way out like that. Imagine, this again is for arthritis. So we're going to keep the shoulders low and our elbows bent. We're going to come back and we're going to bring our hands to hold your imaginary ball. And we're going to change hands and hold up the sky with the other hand. And then back to center. Take that ball and hold up that sky. And just hold it for a minute and just feel your spine stretch. We're focusing on the mental aspect of it as well as the physical. And just that spine's going to stretch. Okay, come back down to center. And we'll do the last time this side. and just stretch. Okay, great. So I'm going to get my ball out of the way so I won't fall on it. Now let's hold our hands like we're holding that ball again. And now this time, again, we're going to keep our hips facing forward, and we're going to gently twist our spine to the side. Don't go all the way around, just not past your shoulders. Turn that ball upside down and slowly bring it around to the front. And go to the other side and flip it over and bring it back in. Now, do you see how slow and purposeful these exercises are? It's so much easier to do it fast when you don't have to concentrate. But this is really practicing mindfulness, working on your concentration, focusing on what you're doing. Okay, so for our hips, we're going to hold our hands out to the center, and I'm going to shift my weight slightly to one side, and I'm going to take my opposite foot that my weight's not on, and I'm going to take it back to the side, back, and I have mine out a little to the side, kind of a tripod effect, not way out there. But I don't go straight back because that makes me a little uneven. So back and a little to the side. And what we're going to do is we're going to push that imaginary water like we're in a pool, and we're going to bring that back foot forward. Okay, so I'm going to push that water with my backs of my hands and bring that back foot forward. I'm going to again push that water and bring that back foot forward. Now, see, if you're doing this fast, see how much easier it is to do, but you're actually concentrating, you're putting the weight on one foot. If you can't go all the way forward, stop in the center on the way back. That's fine, and then stop again. So if you need to stop and then go forward, if you can, put your foot down, but if you need to, you can, whatever is comfortable with you, you can plant your heel, plant your toe, but putting your foot down is going to be a little more steady, okay? So let's shift our way to the other leg and bring our hands out, and again, we're going to push our hands back and our foot forward. So our feet and our hands are going to be opposite. My hands are forward and my foot's back. Hands back, foot forward. And then last time. There we go. Okay, next hip exercise or warm up. I'm going to pretend I'm going to take a nap on an invisible wall. I'm tired. I've been doing 5 minutes of warm ups here, okay? So it doesn't matter how you place your hands. I just kind of use that as a visual flat. You may not be able to flatten your wrist because of arthritis. That's fine. But I'm going to shift my weight to the side where my hands are on that imaginary wall. And then I'm going to extend the foot. My chair a little bit. Now I'm going to bring my foot in. Now shift the weight and hands to the opposite side, okay? Step in, shift that weight, hands to the opposite side. Step in, hands to the opposite side. And last time, both sides, opposite side, and in. Okay, great. I hope you're doing it with me and you're feeling good. So let's work on some knees. Bring your hands to the front in a loose fist, comfortable. Get your Tai Chi stance. And we're going to take a small step forward and we're going to punch. We're going to come back to center, shift, step forward, and punch. Foot back to center, shift, step, and a light punch. Back to center, shift, step, punch. Back to center, shift, back to center, and last one. Okay, let's keep that same stance and our loose fist at the hips. And we're going to step forward again, but this time let's lean into it. So we're going to practice our balance going forward now. And the only thing I need to warn you about this is don't extend over your knee because that can cause some stress on the knee, okay? So come back to center, shift, step, lean and punch. Back to center, shift, step, lean and punch. Back to center, shift, lean and punch. And by the way, if you needed a chair, this is always good to do next to a chair. Or I tell people this is good to do standing in a doorway at home, practicing balance on that foot, doing it like this with your hands supporting you on the doorway. So working on that balance. Okay, the last thing we need to show some love to are our ankles. And we're going to put our toe on the ground if you can. A little toe. I've got 5, right? A little toe and then big toe. We're stretching out those ankles. Little toe, big, little, big. Shift that weight. Little, big, little, big, little, big. And what we teach in Matter of Balance is our ankles are so important. They communicate with our brain. Some days I think that's the only part of my body communicating with my brain. So, but it really, you know, if you can do these when you're sitting in traffic, don't take your foot off the gas. Or again, standing in line at Walmart. And the last ankle exercise, I do this at Walmart sometimes and practice my balance. And it's heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. Shift, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. All right, those completes the warm-ups for Tai Chi for fall prevention and arthritis. Anybody have any questions on those? Type them in the chat box. And Sydney, if you'll let me know about those. I want to go ahead and move in to the next movements. There are actually 12 movements in this part 1 of fall prevention. Tai Chi for fall prevention / arthritis. And I'm going to demonstrate those to you right now. And then we'll break them down. We may not get through all of them today, but just so that you would know a little bit about it. And those of you that have done Tai Chi before, feel free to do it along with me if you want to. So I'm going to do it the first time just in a natural flow like we would do it, okay? And I'm going to put on some music with this because Terry yesterday talked about music and how important it is. Well, you can also, and I am not putting in a plug, but people always ask me where to get resources. You can download any music that goes along with Tai Chi, but Dr. Lam's daughter actually composed this music that goes along with it, and there's 2 CDs. You can download it electronically if you want to also, but this is on the Tai Chi for Health website. And I'll give you a hint, there's 2, this one's part 2, and it has more music than part 1 does. So just FYI on that one. So you hear the wonderful music. So if you want to take a deep breath in and out, and if you want to try to move with me through these 12 movements, they're really short, but so beautiful. You can, or you can just watch. Okay, another breath in and out, and commence. Okay, what did you think?
So we have gotten a lot of really positive feedback. So someone has said feeling much more relaxed after a stressful week. And saying, thank you for the warm-up. I've never done any of those movements, and I love them.
Awesome. And the warm-ups, like I mentioned, are specifically, they build on what I just did, the weight shift. So they are just as important, not only for warming you up before you do the actual 12 movements, you're practicing Tai Chi as you're doing the warm-up. So yeah, I think they're awesome. So if you never get past anything except the warm-ups, they're going to be really good for you. Okay, great. Any more comments or questions yet?
Nope, those are the only ones that came in so far.
Okay, great. Well, what I thought we would do then for our remaining 15, 20 minutes is kind of break down the movements. You won't be able to learn all 12 today because, like I said, this is normally eight sessions to do this. But one of the most awesome memories I have of travel, and this is way, way back, is being in Hong Kong in a high-rise hotel, looking down every morning in just a park with just a group of people on their way to work, out, all moving together. It's just the most graceful thing you can ever see. And when I get my, my classes, and some of you, we may have some other instructors with us today, but when we all move together, I get goosebumps. I literally do. Even virtually, when I can see their heads and the hands all going, and they're not looking at me the whole time. When we turn side to side, I'm going, yes, this is so awesome. So it's Tai Chi is kind of spiritual, it's like I said, it's mental, it's emotional, as well as the physical part of it as well. So, okay, so how we begin in the first of the 12 movements, it's called commencement. And you saw me, I handed somebody a ball, and they don't want the ball. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that ball back, and I'm going to bring it up my body, and I'm going to hand it to them again. Okay? I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. I hand them the ball. They don't want the ball, so I'm making like a U shape. So I'll come back up and hand them the ball again. Or I kind of think of, like, if you're doing a choo-choo type thing, so you start with your hands down, you hand them the ball, they don't want the ball, and you hand them the ball again, okay? And that's our first hand movements. And then in between, Dr. Lamb was so smart because he needed to be people like me teaching Tai Chi, and I can always remember. By the way, I'm going to be honest right now before I forget, you can also order gigantic cheat sheets. These are posters with the movements on it. So I've got one over here for warm up and cool down, and one for the first 12 movements. So if you can't remember it all, this is supposed to be good for your memory. You can get posters to put up. So that's been wonderful virtually. So I don't have to rely on the old brain matter all the time. So,
hey, June, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Your camera went really blurry, so I'm not sure if you can focus. I'm not sure what happened. We saw the poster and everything really well.
Is it better?
Still a little.
Sometimes it gets that way, and I have to get up and show my.
That's better.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry about that.
When I move off camera, occasionally it does it. Thank you. I meant to tell you initially, let me know if that happens. So yes, so we're handing somebody the ball, and they don't want the ball, and so we're going back. So as I was mentioning, Dr. Lamb was so smart because he knew people like me. I couldn't remember all the moves. In between every move, he added what we call open and close. And you're just going to move your hands from about the width of your chin or your ears no further than your shoulders. And this is a great time to really focus on that breathing. Breathe out. I meant breathe in and then breathe out. Just focus on the breathing. Breathe out and breathe in. So that's called open and close. And I tell people in my classes, it's kind of like a punctuation between a sentence, or it's a movement between all the other movements. So open, close, we will do that a lot. So our first movement is hand on the ball. They don't want the ball, so we're going to come up and open, close. Well, we have to put our feet in there, right? So what we're going to do as we're handing somebody the ball, I'm going to shift my weight to one side. It doesn't matter which side. And as I bring the hands down to hand on the ball again, I'm going to take a small step forward and then follow step. And then open, close. Okay? I'll go back and do that again. Hand on the ball, shift the weight, step as your hand on the ball again, follow step, open, close. Okay? We'll do it from the side one time. Hand on the ball, they don't want the ball, step, follow, open, close. All right, so that's pretty easy. So the next couple of steps get a little bit more complicated, and that's going to be called a single whip. So we open, close, and then we're going to take a step out. As we do, we're going to open curtains, and I'm going to look over to see who's home over there, okay? So let's come back to center. After we open and close, open the curtain, and see who's at home. And then back to center, okay? So let's put that together with the first movement, the commencement. Hand on the ball. They don't want the ball. Shift the weight. Step. Hand follow. Open. Close. Step out. Open the curtain. See who's at home. Okay. Now this is probably one of the most difficult to get down. But what I'm going to do is my foot that's extended out, I'm going to do a fake step in and out. Fake step in and out. My hand's going to come down as I do that, and I'm going to shift my weight. Now, the next movements by hand, we're going to take 3 steps, by the way, continuing in the direction I was going. But let's work on those hand movements. This is called waving hands. This is so elegant. My male volunteer that came back and was just taught virtually, though, he was taught this is actually, you could view it as drumming, as part of the warriors drumming. So that's a little more masculine. I like for mine to be like I'm really waving hands. And I tell people, pretend you're the world's slowest window washer. You're getting paid by the hour. So you're washing windows, wax on, wax off. Or you're Queen Elizabeth and it's, the wave to the people. So whatever helps you remember, it's called waving hands, okay? So as my hand gets ready to go over here, my foot's going to go over there too, okay? I'm going to come back. I'm going to step in. Oh, that hand's going over there. So I'm going to step out. Oh, my hand's going to go where my weight is. I step in and shift my weight, and there goes the hand. Step out, shift, and hand, okay? So we're going to do that about 3 times, and guess what? That punctuation, because, I got to stop and see what I do next. So it's open and close. So when we do things on one side, we're going to repeat them on the other. So this time I want to shift my weight and then step out, and I'm opening the curtain to look at the opposite side of the room where I have looked before. Okay, so same thing. We're going to bring a fake step in. I'm going to bring that hand down and out, shift that weight. I'm going to step in. Oh, my hands are going over there. I'm going to step out. My hands are going there. Step in, and I'm shifting my weight. Step out, and I'm shifting my weight. In and out. Okay, and then we open, close. Okay, let's see if we can put it all together again. And classes don't normally go this fast. I just want to give you some experience of what a Tai Chi class is going to be like. Okay, ready? Get your Tai Chi stance, a little bend in those knees. Take a couple of deep breaths in and out. In and out. Okay, hand on the ball. They don't want the ball. Shift the weight as your hand comes up, and a little forward step as your hand on the ball again. Follow step, open, close. Okay, I'm going to step out, open those curtains, see who's at home. Fake step in. My weight's going to the side, so there goes my hands. Step in, shift that weight, and here go the hands. Step out, step in, and let's go one more time. Step out, and then step in, then open, close. Okay, I've got to do the same thing on the other side, so I'm going to take a little step in, shift my weight, open the curtains. I've got to see who's home over there. Okay, bring that fake step in and out, shift my weight. So there goes my hands. Bring my other foot in, shift, step and shift, step and shift. And last time, let's step and shift. And then open, close. That's half of the movements out of the 12 movements. That's the first 6. So that's like record time we did that. Anybody had their camera on, Sydney? I can't see anybody. Can you see if anybody's Tai Chiing with us?
I don't see any of the cameras on. Oh, there's okay. Rachel's popped up.
Hi, Rachel. How are you doing? Are you Tai Chiing?
I'm trying to. I'm not very graceful. That's why I didn't have the camera on. I didn't want y'all to fall in the floor laughing. So. but it's really cool. I know Cynthia Rocky teaches it, and she talks about it a lot. And I've seen people do it. But you're a great teacher. Thanks, June.
Well, thank you. Those 61 of classes of talking to a big screen TV really helped me break it down, quite honestly.
Yes.
So yeah. And I've only been doing Tai Chi about 3 years now. So wow. I don't do it all the time. I forget and have to have my cheat posters up and everything. Yeah. So it's really easy.
Well, I like the practical stuff, hand them the ball. I mean, that's really, that helps to solidify it in your brain, what you're, the movement. So I love that.
Oh, great. And I make up my own names for things. I tell people the proper names for the moves, but you'll see here in a minute, we're going to make pancakes. So that's not in Tai Chi, okay? So thank you for popping on, Rachel. Anybody else have a comment or question?
We've got a GIF that came in that said serenity, thank you, and it's been a very pleasant experience and an excellent job. And I had a question real quick, and I'm not sure, I may have missed this at the beginning, I apologize. You mentioned that some of these exercises can be done seated. Was that just for a warm-up, or was that for the whole?
All of them, okay. And I will demonstrate for you. It depends on what kind of mobility you have in your hips, your back, your knees, wherever the element are. But yes, you could do certainly, a lot of them. Handing somebody the ball, you can still move the foot forward and follow step, and then open, close, and then you can spread your hips out like we do in some of the cell classes and, in the chairs. So, depending on, what kind of mobility, you can't walk, of course, but you can still move, just move it or lose it. Motion's the lotion for the joints. So do what you can. Just keep it going. It's the best advice we can give. So.
Motion is lotion for the joints. That's the first time I've heard that one, and I'm going to use it.
Well, that's Tracy Wamp's. I thought she brought it back from one of our trainings. But motion is lotion for the joints. So it's so important to keep it moving. So yeah. We have about 5 minutes left, and if you guys want me to, I'll go ahead and just kind of walk through the other 6 movements. And just kind of, we won't take as much time on them, but you'll see what I mean about my descriptors that I've kind of made up that the classes say help. So, okay. So after we've done our single whip, to either side and our waving hands, we come back and to open, close. Now, for this time, we're going to pivot to the side with our feet. And as we pivot, we're going to do a move that's called brush knee. So I'm going to take my hand down where my knee is going to be in the front, because this is actually a Tai Chi defense maneuver, a martial arts defense maneuver. So if I'm fighting, I'm going to brush my knee to protect my knee. At the same time, I'm going to brush my ear. There's not a move called brush ear, but I tell my folks, let's brush knee and ear. So that prompts you what to do with the hands, okay? As you brush the ear and go forward, you're going to rock back on the back foot, playing an imaginary lute. You're not going to move the strings. And a lute, by the way, my intern I had when we were doing these classes in the winter didn't know what a lute was, so she looked it up. And it is a stringed instrument, sort of like a guitar. And you're going to move your fingers back like you're strumming a lute, okay? So let's do that from open, close. We're going to brush knee and ear. We're going to rock back, playing the lute, okay? So I've got my front foot ready to go. All I have to do is take 3 steps for this move, okay? I'm gonna, since I'm on my heel and my foot's forward, it'd be hard for me to bring this foot around, right? So I'm gonna take 1 step, 2 step, and 3 step. And that's all there is to going to this side, just 3 simple steps. Now what's fun is what we're gonna do with those steps. So I brush my knee and ear, I'll come back playing the lute. So as I take that first step, I'm going to make pancakes. I'm going to bring that back foot around. I'm going to flip those pancakes. And I'm going to bring that back foot around for the final time. And I'm going to present flowers. Okay? The movements are actually called punch and parry and block and close. But that doesn't tell you anything, right? You get what we're doing with the pancakes. And then once we get our pancakes made and our roses, we're going to rock back, push the mountain, and come back to center. And the object is to have your feet, and this is the hardest part of all of it, so all you do is you Charlie Chaplin it around. And that's Charlie Chaplin's not a Tai Chi term either. Then you do the same thing to the other side. You brush knee and ear, you rock back playing the lute, you take a step making pancakes, bring that back foot around, flip those pancakes, you bring that back foot around, present flowers, you rock back, you push that mountain, and you Charlie Chaplin it. You open, close, and down. That is the 12 movements for Tai Chi for arthritis and fall prevention. Okay, let's go on into the cool downs, and let's take a gentle fist and let's just punch around on our legs, and this loosens up the blood in those muscles that we've been working on. So not really hard, just loosen it up. Now this is the only time we're going to get a tight clenched fist. We're going to clench it, and we're just going to release any stress you might have and let it go with a big breath. Okay, we're going to do that 3 times. So second time, breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. All right. And then our last movement, we're going to gather up more chi, more energy. We did this one before. And bring it in and breathe out. Good chi, good energy. And breathe out. Good chi, last time. Good energy. And out. And then our Tai Chi greeting, loose right fist representing strength. 4 fingers representing friendship. Bent thumb representing humility, so mutual respect. So that's Tai Chi. So I think we have a final poll question, right, Sydney? You want to pull that up?
Yep, it is being pulled up right now. See, and the question or the comment is, I plan to find a Tai Chi class in my area, yes or no?
And we might even say online as well as area. Now we're thinking a little broader. Yeah. So do you want to try a Tai Chi class if you haven't already? So
and while people are responding, we had a question come in. June, where do you buy the giant Tai Chi posters?
The same place, Tai Chi for Health. It's all one website. You can see, you know, the educational part. You can sign up for newsletters, by the way. You can follow them on Facebook. Yeah, and if you order, don't be confused, because you can either choose Australian dollars or US dollars if you order online. Amazon carries them. I've purchased some of the DVDs and CDs on Amazon. I don't know if I've seen the posters on there, but the same place. Yes.
Great. So, so for our poll answers, we have 80% of people said yes, they're going to look to find a Tai Chi class, and 20% said no.
Awesome. Well, I think that's a very success. So great. Any final questions for me?
Not that have come in through the chat box. I know we're at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock Eastern time, so we want to respect everyone's time if you need to go. But thank you all so much for attending this session, and thank you so much, June, for the amazing presentation and demonstration. We'll go ahead and we'll stop the recording, but we'll hang out for a little bit if anybody has any additional questions. So thank you all so much again. Hopefully you can join us tomorrow with Dr. Javandi to talk about Walk Across Tennessee.